Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. My name is Matt and this is Secondhand Home Theater. And if you've clicked on this video, you've probably seen the title in the thumbnail, so you know what this video is probably going to be about. And it's about a birthday, not only my personal birthday, but also the birthday of the channel of Secondhand Home Theater. And that is what we're going to talk about here today. So October 18th is not only, like I said, my personal birthday, but it's also the birthday for the channel. I started Secondhand Home Theater 2 years ago today. I've been running it for 2 full years. And this video is basically to say thank you to everybody who's helped along the way over these 2 years to get the channel to where it's at today. Now, my channel is not a large channel in the grand scheme of YouTube. I'm still a very small fish in the large ocean of the YouTube platform. You know, I'm just on the cusp of 3,000 subscribers, which I'm fairly confident we'll get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, you know, at a minimum. You know, I'm only like 4 or 5 subscribers away from that. So I'm fairly confident we'll get to 3,000 at some point before the end of the year. But even at that, like 3,000 subscribers isn't a large sum of subscribers. That's a very small subscriber base in comparison to like these channels that have hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers, you know, so it is a very small channel. Even in the home theater space, there's several channels that kind of are home theater focused or kind of hop in and out of the home theater genre or home audio and home electronic kind of stuff that have, you know, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So to only have 3,000, that's still a relatively small channel. But for me, it's so gratifying, and that is a huge accomplishment for me to even have, you know, coming up on 3,000 subscribers. That's really like a crazy amount of people to me that, you know, would want to subscribe to my content and watch, you know, me sit here and talk about random home theater topics and kind of show you bits and pieces of my home theater and stuff like that, you know. So a big shout out, you know, to everyone there, because really, whether you've subscribed to my channel or you're just a casual viewer that maybe has only stopped by and watched like 1 or 2 of my videos at some point, you know, along the 2 years I've been here, it's really because of all of you that this channel is what it is and is kind of where I'm at. You know, I'm truly grateful for what I have with this channel. Like I said, it may not be the largest channel even in my own kind of space that I'm in, but for me, 3,000 subscribers and the views I've gotten and everything, you know, even for what it is a huge accomplishment to me. And you guys really don't know how much that means to me. And going along with that, I don't want to shout out every single channel or user on here that's interacted with me, because I'm probably going to leave somebody out and I don't want anyone to get upset, but definitely a huge shout out to everyone there. But one of the people I do want to shout out and make mention of here in the video is my wife, Mallory. It was her birthday yesterday on the 17th, so happy birthday to her. And if you want, you can leave some comments down below wishing her happy birthday. I'm sure she'll see this and, you know, get a kick out of that. But I also did a video with Mallory a year ago. I'll plug it here, I'll have it linked, and it'll probably be in the anniversary post kind of thing that I'll have posted alongside this. If you want to check that out, go ahead, you know, and see kind of me and Mallory sitting here chit-chatting with each other about stuff with the channel from a year ago. But I really want to shout her out specifically because I said it in that video before that I just mentioned about the interview with her, and I've talked about it in other content here on the channel. Mallory is probably the biggest reason why this channel exists in general, you know, and not even counting 3,000 subscribers or anything. Just the fact that this channel exists in any form or fashion is really a large part, you know, due to her, because she was the one who pushed me for like months and months and really tried to motivate me for several months to like actually go down this road and start a YouTube channel, you know. And so without her, this really wouldn't exist. And the fact, of course, that she allows me to go and buy, you know, the frivolous stuff I buy here for my home theater. You know, a lot of it is still here, but a lot of it's also been sold or, you know, traded off or whatever. And just the fact that she's allowed me to do that over these 2 years and, you know, been supportive of it is actually something I'm extremely happy, you know, and grateful to have here, you know, in my life and with this channel. Now, I don't want this video just to be, you know, a video about saying thank you to everybody. That's the large part, and that's the main point of this video. But I also want to, I guess, date this video slightly and talk about some upcoming content that may happen here on the channel and a few upgrades that may happen here to the home theater in the near future. Now, I'm putting a big asterisk with this because I don't know if this is actually going to pan out, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the long and short of it is that I've been watching an auction site out of the St. Louis area that actually is auctioning off equipment and items from a closed down commercial movie theater in the St. Louis area. And one of the big sets of items I'm watching through this auction is something that should improve what I kind of perceived as one of the weakest areas of my home theater, and that is the subwoofer setup here in this home theater. And what I'm watching is for a set of JBL commercial cinema subwoofers. They are the 4641 Pro level commercial subwoofers. And this auction site has like 12 or 13 or so of these subwoofers available for purchase. And I'm hoping to buy at least one, but preferably two of these subwoofers for my home theater. Now, as I said a second ago, this is a big maybe. This is a big may happen because I have kind of a hard line of what I'm willing to pay on these subwoofers to get them here in my home theater, because not only do I have to pay for them and pay all the taxes and all that stuff to buy them, I physically have to drive into St. Louis to go and pick up these behemoth subwoofers that weigh like 130 plus pounds a piece and somehow get them back here to my actual house and install them in the home theater, and then go and get a dedicated power amplifier for the subs, maybe even have to invest in like a mini DSP to get them calibrated and room corrected for my space. And so there's a lot to kind of go into it. And after a certain point, in terms of the pricing, it may be better off to either DIY the subs or go and get some other more dedicated home theater subwoofers, because these JBL Pro line subs, while from reading online seem to be decent enough for what they are, they're made to really fill big auditoriums, not a like 17 by 17 foot home theater space. And I've read some reviews that say these are good for home theater use. I've read some reviews that say these are not really made for home theater and they're not really gonna work out. And so I'm on the fence about how much I want to spend, but I do have kind of a hard stop that once they get past a certain point, I'm not gonna like go any further on the bidding, you know, to buy them. So it may happen here, you know, in the near future. This auction actually ends on the 20th of October, so that's just like 2 days after this video posts. And the pickup will be like the next 2 days following that, which I'll have to orchestrate something if I actually do win any of these subs. But I do want to make mention about that, although like I said, it's with a big kind of asterisk next to it, because I don't know if this is actually going to pan out or not. But if it does, I'm going to be extremely excited to get these subs in here in my home theater, and there will be a whole batch of content following that of the actual install process, calibration, overall reviews and thoughts about the actual, you know, setup and everything on here. So yeah, it's gonna be just like a big chunk of stuff about that if it actually pans out that way. So I do want to mention that on there as well. And to go along with that, that auction does have a few other non-subwoofer kind of related stuff that I may be interested in picking up for my home theater, such as like an actual AV equipment network rack to like put my equipment on, and maybe just some other little bits and bobs depending on how cheap they sell for. I may decide to pick up just as like fun things to bring into the home theater to do content on and like put here. But that's all a big maybe, because I don't know what's going to happen there. But anyways, I do want to mention that as well. And then of course, I will have a few more kind of like Halloween horror themed videos kind of out on the feed here eventually this month, and just some other, you know, some of my more usual stuff. I had to take a bit of a break as a side note, just because my sister, who's getting married next year, had her bachelorette party / wedding party thing, which I'm actually wearing the shirt for here in this video, this past week. And so I've been out of town, you know, for quite a while doing all that stuff. So yeah, so a lot going on here on the channel, hopefully in the future. And the big one is hopefully getting in some commercial subs here in the home theater. So with that, this video is done for today. The main point was to say thank you to everybody who's helped me get to 2 years, here on YouTube. And, I'm gonna probably hit 3,000 subscribers here shortly in the next, like I said, couple months at a minimum. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again to everybody who's helped me with this channel. I really do appreciate it. You really don't know how much it means to me to have this channel going like it is nowadays, hitting almost 3,000 subscribers and everything like that. So with that, I'm going to say thank you one more time. If you enjoy the content, definitely consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Consider leaving a comment down below about your thoughts on home theater, or if you want to wish me or my wife a happy birthday, feel free to do that. I'm sure she would enjoy that. And with that, I'm going to say thank you one last time, and I will see you the next time in the next video right here on Secondhand Home Theater, hopefully with some new commercial JBL subwoofers. We'll see what happens. So I'll see you then. Thank you guys.